But when they come to collect that knowledge and that information from him, he pretends he doesn't know what they're talking about, so they get him. And Laia sets out on this quest to save her brother. So she ends up meeting with the rebellion leaders, which is again in the synopsis, and they tell her it will help you rescue your brother, but you have to do this extremely dangerous mission that you're probably not gonna live through rather. We need you to fake being a slave, get sold into slavery, and spy on someone that is very high up in the Empire's ranks. And this person is vicious, they are cruel, they are the epitome of every horrendous thought and action you could ever conjure up in your mind. They are the worst sort of human alive. And the Empire wants her to spy on that person, so she gets sold and becomes a slave of this particular person and lives through awful things. It was actually pretty triggering, and the book can kind of get graphic, so if that's not your thing, you're not gonna like this with some of the treatment of the slaves, you know. But while there, she discovers that, as in all books and stories like this, she discovers that there are tons of secrets within the Empire that, if those secrets were ever discovered, it could bring the Empire to its knees and shift the dynamics of power and just reshape their world, the world that they're all living in. But also while there, she meets a man named Elias. And when I tell y'all, I am simping for this man so fucking hard. I love me a good fictional boyfriend, honey, and they're not boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm saying for me, like, this is my man's. Elias is my man's. Of course, he's extra tall, like one of the tallest men she's ever seen, and he's taller than everyone around him, blah blah. Of course, he's built because he's a soldier, right? So he works out, stays in shape, and he's the best of the best. Like, his name, Elias Viturius, is known all across the world. He's that guy. He's that. Okay. He's got steel gray eyes, which is so sexy. He's got steel gray eyes and dark hair and tan skin, and he's a very thoughtful, brooding, because of course he has to be brooding, but secretly, and not even secretly, he's a very kind person as well, and his honor and integrity mean a lot to him, and everyone around him knows that about them, and that's why he's so revered. Not only is he very skilled, but he's fair. And they, without giving too much away, have to, so some sparks fly, because not only is Elias hot, but of course Laia has to be the most beautiful creature on earth, right? And she's got golden eyes and long hair to her waist and a flawless skin, and she's short and voluptuous, blah blah blah. Every man's wet dream. And it just, I don't want to give it away, but it's just such a good book. Like, I'm trying to figure out what I can say without ruining things, but I guess I'll just leave it at that. I gave it 3 stars, and the only reason I gave it 3 stars was because, or 3.5, was because while it is so good, it really is such a good book. All of it is basically just Laia running around and doing a lot of talking and spying and sneaking and standing behind closed doors and trying to read letters from her slaver, and, you know, like, it was just a lot of feels very chaotic. Like it feels like she's doing all of this stuff because of the writing, but when you really sit and digest the book, you're like, what the fuck actually happened in book one? Like, nothing really got done until literally the last chapter. I would go so far to say nothing really got done until the last page of this book. So it's really drawn out. And I listened to the audiobook of this while reading the library copy that I got. And I get asked all the time, like, do you listen to audiobooks and podcasts and things like that? The two are often intertwined in one question. Do you listen to audiobooks and or podcasts? And the answer is very complicated, because while I love audiobooks, I don't listen to them often because I have such a hard time finding narrators whose voices don't grate on my nerves. There are so many books that I read and I'm like, oh, it'd be so great to listen to this as well. But then I go find the audiobook and the narrator has a very nasally voice, or it's too high pitched, or it's just horrendous in some way, shape, or fashion, and I can't do it. And another thing, it bothers me when a female narrator has to emulate a male voice. So like she'll make her voice deeper, and on the flip side of that, it bothers me when a male narrator will try to make his voice high pitched to emulate a female voice because he's reading a line that a female is saying in the book. Like, it makes me unnecessarily angry. I just don't like that. So again, really heavy emphasis on I have to find narrators whose voices are like a magic to my ears, so that way when they are doing, you know, a male voice when they're a woman, or vice versa, it doesn't drive me up the wall, 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 up the wall. And then with the podcast thing, this isn't about that, so I won't answer that question here. But so I gave that one 3.5. And then the second book I finished tonight is called A Torch Against the Night. It's called A Torch Against the Night, and Elias and Laya are basically running for their lives in this book. Oh, to go back to the first one, it mentioned it in the synopsis again, but Elias is the best soldier around, but he doesn't want to be. He does not revel in death and inflicting pain on others the way that his comrades do, and the way that his parent does. And he very much wants to live a life of his own. He doesn't want to be controlled by the Empire. He doesn't want to live out the will. He doesn't want to enforce the will of all of these very cruel people in charge, for lack of a better phrasing. The main plot of the second book is Laya trying to break into Koff, which is the prison that her brother is being held in. She's trying to break into Koff and get her brother out of prison. That's the whole plot of book 2. She's trying to free her brother, and Elias is attempting to help her. And of course, they have to face all of these obstacles and enemies and things like that. But I gave the second book 4.5 stars. I liked it way more than the first book because I felt like shit was actually getting done. In the first book, it was just a bunch of running around, but really you're not accomplishing shit. But the second book, they were wham bam and thank you ma'am, and they were getting it done, and I loved that. And I'm also very happy with the ending of the and so they do underhanded deals with the others and, you know, try to take advantage of them and things like that, but the others are not having it. I'm not explaining this well, but like, it is just such an intriguing book or a series. The dynamics between the others and the humans and how everything plays out. And so anyway, book 1 you're seeing through the eyes of Meg, and she's being so protected by all the people in this courtyard that as a byproduct, I feel protected as I'm reading as her and seeing through her eyes. So it feels cozy and I feel protected, and it just fills me with insane amounts of joy. And I read a review on Goodreads about the series in general, and I liked it because the person was like, I cannot pinpoint what it is exactly about this series that makes it so special and phenomenal, but all I know is that I'm obsessed with it. And I'm like, same girl, same, it is everything. So I only read this series once, and the reason I got back into it was because there was a new release of a spin-off series of that book. And so there's a spin-off series, and the third book was released this year, so I had to go back and I read the first book, but I skipped over the second book in the spin-off because it was centered around a different main character in a different part of the world, and I was like, nah. But it was written really weird because in the spin-off series, the way that it's written is book 1 is about a girl named Vicky, book 2 is about a girl, I don't know because I didn't read book 2, but then book 3 is about Vicky, and it picks off from book 1. And I'm like, why did the author write it like that? I don't get it, because the stories don't intertwine. In different parts of the world, different main characters, different plots, and it just doesn't make sense. But I read book 1 and 3. I am going to read book 2, but I wanted to read in an order that made sense to me. So I wanted to finish Vicky's parts, book 1 and 3, and then I'll start on this new girl. But because I started reading the spin-off and I finished, 1 and 3, I wanted to get back into the original. And so I started rereading Written in Red, and all of the warm, fuzzy feelings are flooding back as I reread it, and I don't know, it just makes me happy. So a 40-minute video just to ramble about 3 books, but that is what's going on. I did read, so I read right before I started reading the Others spin-off and the Ember series that I'm reading now. I did another reread, and I read Crossfire by Sylvia Day, and the Crossfire series is a series that I read many years ago. It wasn't as well known as it is now, and I got back into it because I was reading online that the Crossfire series, it has been picked up to become a TV show, and I was like, oh well, let me reread the books. And I find that I'm not quite enjoying it the second time around. The first time I read the Crossfire series, it was everything Gideon and Ava are. They were everything. But now I'm kind of like I'm kind of indifferent. I'm kind of bored with it. Maybe it's because I've read it before, or maybe I've just outgrown it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But yeah, so I kind of like skimmed through it because I couldn't fully get immersed in it, and I wasn't really engaged. So I'm probably not gonna finish rereading the rest of the series, which is a bummer because that's a series that I used to rant and rave about to other people, back when I was first reading it, and now it's like I kind of could care less about it. So anyway, if they come out with the TV series, I will watch it, but hopefully minutes long as I'm filming. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to sit and chat and ramble about books because I just finished reading and was very happy with the book that I had finished and was just kind of in that mood. So, sorry. Oh my god, you guys. I cannot tell you how insanely happy it makes me to have found a community of people that, like, don't mind me sitting here for 50 minutes rambling about the most random shit and actually care about what I'm saying. So many of you have reached out to me about something that I talked about in one of my rambles, and you've sent me like videos or memes or whatever it is of something that I talked about, and because it reminded you of me, you sent it to me. And the most recent thing was one of you reached out to me with a video of Australians saying the word no and so and something of the sort, and you're like, I won't say what you said to me because you said it in privacy, but you know who you are. So you sent that video to me because it made you think of me and my obsession with the Australian accent, and it just lights up my life and it warms my heart and makes me the happiest human alive, because it's not the first time that's happened to me where I've talked about something. Example, in one of my rambles, I talked about how the Goofy movie had the best looking pizza on any cartoon I've ever seen, and someone sent a meme of different clips of like cartoon pizzas and Goofy movie pizza to me, and they're like, this made me think of you. Like, I'm about to start crying. Like, I'm literally about to start crying. Shut the fuck up. It just makes me so happy. Like, you guys care. You guys listen to me and you care. And when someone says that to me, like when someone's like, this made me think of you, I'm on the floor sobbing in a ball, like in what do they call it? What do they call it when you're like curled up? I can't think of the word, but like I'm on the ground sobbing because that phrase just, someone saying, this made me think of you. Like, I'm not the sort that likes receiving physical gifts. That's not my love language, and it actually makes me a little uncomfortable when people buy me things, which I know is something that it's a self-worth issue. Like, I'm not worthy of this, don't spend your money on me, and I know that's something I need to get over. But when someone sends me something like a video or a meme or a story, or even if they just like send me a text and they're like, you should pick up this book because the main character made me think of you, like whatever, sending me something that's not like something you bought with that specific phrase. Are you kidding? Like, and create content, and you found me however you found me, but you chose to stick around. And I choose to keep putting out this content and connecting with you and to keep this connection going. So we're choosing each other, and that is just so beautiful, and I am so grateful and happy. You guys make me happy. I don't know why I just thought about Nemo when she's like, you guys make me ink, but you guys make me happy. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video. Thank you so much for spending tonight with me, or this morning, this